Hey, I'm Jason Blumer with Blumer CPAs, and I want to talk to you about the Capacity Exchange Bridge. The Capacity Exchange Bridge is part of our prototype components model for growth, which helps service entrepreneurs scale their organization. So we're going to represent that with a scale. On this side, we have revenue structures. That's actually component 7. On this side, we have team structures, which is component 8. You have to keep these balanced if you're to scale a services firm appropriately, and you scale that through the capacity of team that serves revenue. Revenue on this side, capacity of team on this side. So we represent that with these marbles. These marbles represent revenue you just brought in. You're excited. You just won some great clients. Look what this does. It causes an imbalance between revenue and capacity. Obviously, you need capacity to fulfill the revenue. Now, this is obvious when you're looking at a scale, but many service entrepreneurs act as if these are not connected, but they are intricately tied to one another. Firm owners bring in revenue without considering the capacity needed to fulfill that revenue, and that always creates imbalanced capacity with revenue. So let's put some capacity on this side. This is going to be our great team, somebody we've hired, possibly a promotion to produce more capacity to fulfill this revenue. What we've done is we've put in some team and we've purchased some capacity from that team with payroll. That's how we purchase our capacity, but we didn't purchase enough, so it's time to hire. Here's some new hires. Now we're getting just to where we need to be, where the revenue structures are balanced with the capacity-related structures embedded in a team. This is a capacity exchange bridge that is perfectly balanced. Revenue is balanced with the capacity needed to fulfill that revenue. We always want to have balance, but in reality, firm entrepreneurs and agencies do not ever achieve this balance. So we're always working to maintain the balance. That's actually part of your strategy, is to plan ahead when you bring revenue in so that you have the right capacity to fulfill that revenue. And if you begin to think about revenue on its own, you're not thinking about it appropriately. If you think about revenue, you have to think about your team's capacity as well. And on the other side, if you have too much capacity, you need to balance that with revenue. So we have a perfectly balanced capacity exchange bridge. We have revenue here and we have capacity here. However, we hired somebody that's not working out, so let's remove them from our team. All right, we've removed the capacity of that person. Now we are out of balance. What's happened? We still have the revenue, we still have our clients, but we no longer have the capacity to fulfill that revenue. It's out of balance. You have to fix this balance. And if you act as if it's not true, you're going to get out of whack. And what will happen with what we call loose capacity? The owner will have to take that on. It will fall to their plate. They will fulfill that revenue because this revenue is already scoped. Somebody is going to fulfill it. This is an out of balance capacity exchange bridge. So let's balance our capacity by hiring a couple people to give us the capacity we need because of the revenue we've already brought into our company. Great, now we have a great balanced capacity exchange bridge. However, we know markets can be fickle, right? And we'll win and lose clients all the time. So possibly there's a wrong client, right? This revenue structure indicates a client base that is producing that revenue for you. But when you find a client that's not aligned or not working well with you, you may need to remove that client. And when you do, you're removing revenue. Let's see how that looks when you remove a client that is producing recurring revenue. Now we see in our capacity exchange bridge that we're out of balance again. You have too much team capacity. Great entrepreneurs are also great leaders. And so they don't look at their capacity exchange bridge and just remove people that are working. They build teams, they love teams, they build great culture. So now when you have this situation where you don't have enough revenue, you don't readily get rid of your team. And if you're not going to get rid of your team, what do? Well, you can float them through your own savings. A lot of times you choose to do that strategically to get the right people in at the right time, or you have to go win some revenue. In the prototype components model, our components are ordered. And so the revenue structures model represented by this side is component 7. That is a leading component, and it means that team structures component 8 is called down channel from that component. It means this is informed by what you do in this component. This, in a sense, becomes more of an important component to manage. And so you build your team structure according to what your revenue structure is wanting you to build. So let me repeat that concept. You don't hire a team that you want to build. You build teams that fulfill the revenue you've decided to bring in. So what do we have here? We have an entrepreneur that's really built a team without thinking about their revenue structure, and that's not how you do it. As we talk about the order of how the component models walks you through building and scaling a company, you build this when and only when you know how your revenue structures are coming in. So in this situation, you've actually gotten yourself into a problem, and that's okay. You want to keep your great team unless some people aren't working out and you don't have the proper capacity. So what you do is you do keep your team. You may have to pay for your team out of your cash, your savings, or you have to go to your market and produce more revenue and quick. So let's balance the capacity exchange bridge, again, which is part of the prototype components model. Let's put some more revenue on this side. Great, we've balanced our capacity exchange bridge. We're going to be able to operate now and scale our organization sustainably over time. Obviously, your agency is not a perfectly balanced scale, but you do want it to be. And now you know the strategy of always weaving in and out of balancing your team's capacity with your revenue needs. That is a key part to your scaling. But that's what we do. We help agency entrepreneurs manage the complexity of balancing the capacity exchange bridge. Let us know if we can help you at Blumer CPAs or email us at info@blummercpas.com.